Welcome to Born to be a Sports Agent, where I deliver legal and contract insight for sports professionals navigating hiring, firing, injury, and representation. Okay, hi guys, I'm Jill Baxter, and this is my podcast, Born to be a Sports Agent, and I'm going to have your brother introduce you, but thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you guys for being on. The guy on the bottom is my younger sibling, Tyler.
Okay, Tyler.
He is the left fielder for the A's. He was drafted in 2020. In the first round, was picked 26th overall. Did 2.5 years in the minor leagues, I think. Debuted in 23. And just was extended this December. And then the guy in the top left is Cole Carrigg. He's my brother's, what I would call probably his best friend. And I've taken him on as kind of a project myself. And he went to college at San Diego State, played baseball there from, when were you there,
2020 through 2023, 3 years.
Yeah, and then was picked in the second round in the 23 draft by the Colorado Rockies, and has made it to AA so far. We'll start with just kind of a question for both of you. What the process was like obtaining an agent, dealing with different agents trying to get with you, and when that process kind of began for you both.
You can start, Tyler.
All right, yeah, I'll start it off. So, nice to meet all you guys, I guess. I'm Tyler. Thanks for the intro, Tate. I would say the process for, kind of getting an agent is, I think the first step as a high school athlete is, to kind of figure out what college you want to attend. And so I kind of checked that off. I was, committed to play at UCLA, and then, kind of that summer after your junior year is pretty crucial if you want to, get some looks from pro scouts. And I think, most of the agents have a pretty good idea of who I would say top, high school draft candidates are throughout the country. So, agents do their best to, kind of recruit. And I think the process is basically, the agents kind of come to you, and you kind of have sit down meetings with them, and you're able to kind of see who you mesh with the best. And that's kind of the process of high school, kind of finding your agent. So it's pretty straightforward, just kind of some sit down meetings. But yeah, nothing too crazy.
I have a quick follow-up, Tyler. How did they find you? How did they get your number, the agents? Do you know, or do you have no idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's their job. They're in connections with all the scouting directors, all the college coaches. They do their due diligence on their end to, find out who these draft eligible players are that, pro teams have ranked high on their boards, and who are top, college prospects. So they do the work on their end to kind of, find who they want to maybe reach out to. And, they kind of either just maybe try and get a hold of your dad, your mom, or you even, and just kind of have a sit down meeting and, kind of go over what they have to offer.
Okay.
So Cole, would you say that your experience was similar?
No, my experience was probably a little different. I'm Cole, by the way, everybody. Nice to meet you. I would say Tyler is kind of sugarcoating his way of it a little bit. He was like the best player in California coming out of high school. So everybody knows who that guy is. For me, I was maybe in the 2020 draft was a 5-round draft. So it was a weird draft. So I was probably a possible late 5th round, maybe 4th round at best, out of high school if I were to have taken it. So for me, I kind of was like, okay, I need an agent to help me guide through talking to teams, this, that, help me if I were to get into the draft. And ultimately, there was, I mean, just a couple guys who knew who I was because I was more of a, you could say, lesser of a prospect than Tyler was. So in high school, it was a little bit harder for me. I wasn't necessarily looking for them. Like I definitely had people come up and talk to me, but just lower end, I guess, starting up agents who didn't really have a whole lot of clientele or have made a name for themselves yet. So I ended up actually changing agents when I got into college, but I guess we can hit on that a little bit later.
Yeah. So when you guys were in high school, like I guess Tyler more specifically, like how did obviously you had Garrett or your agent, I know who your agent is, throughout high school and for you, Cole, into college and into professional baseball. So how does your relationship and how does it change over time with your agent? And what are some of the different things that your agent is responsible for in those different stages of your career?
So I would say that agent's main job when if they, you don't really, you can't technically sign with an agent until you sign a pro contract. But you're it's basically just a verbal commitment to your agency. And so I would say their job in high school is to promote you the best that they can, which is getting you into certain summer showcase events, which are really huge for the amateur side of a high school player that wants to be drafted. So if your agent can kind of pull some strings here and there, maybe help you make some different teams. I would say specifically some teams that I would say my agent helped me make was the PG All-American game, which is held at Petco Park, and then the USA 18U national team.
Hmm.
I would say those are two events that, kind of helped boost my draft stock. And I think the agents have connections with certain people and they're, able to get in their ear a little bit and promote the player, just, get you out there, get you known, get you in front of all the biggest scouting directors for each 30 teams.
So Cole, how would you say that like you're dealing with your agents in college versus pro ball has been like what's been different?
I would say, I mean, high school, I guess I didn't really have an agent until real close to the draft. So I didn't have a lot of experience with, like Tyler said, USA's or PDP League or All American games or anything like that. So when I went to college, it's a whole lot less contact. I mean, when I was there, NIL was just kind of starting up. So I wasn't super huge into that. And baseball was probably the last, I guess, other than basketball and football sport to take off to start getting money for that. So I didn't really have a whole lot to do with that. I switched my agent after my freshman year. I kind of always figured I would just because obviously if I took off and was doing better that I would be like, okay, I'm in a spot where I'm going to need a better agent for the draft and, hopefully getting into the Cape Cod League, which is for college guys like the premier summer baseball league, unless you go play for the USA team. And so that's when I made the switch, having known Tyler's agent, which is he's mentioned Garrett. Tate and Tyler mentioned Garrett from Tyler for the past, I guess I've known him now for as long as damn near Tyler has. And I always had liked him. And I had a few other guys reach out to me. I had a good freshman year and I switched to him. He helped me get into the Cape Cod League my sophomore year and then was just super huge for me in the draft in 2023. I got hurt my junior year. I was a late round first round late hopeful, and then I ended up getting hurt. Probably was supposed to fall to the third, fourth round, and I guess just how respected Garrett was around the game, like all the players that he's gotten himself, he's represented have all, not all, but a lot of them pan out to be really good baseball players. He's puts a good word in for me with all the scouting directors, all the GMs, and I somehow make it on the first day, which is still the second round, and he helped me get a lot more money than I probably should have having played a quarter of my most important year. So, yeah.
Kind of question related to that. I was wondering, did you guys start to what sort of influence were you seeing from NIL money coming into the team during your college career? Did you start to see some impact on that on how the team was playing, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I would say it really started for like San Diego State, and this is all I can hit on because I would say my last year we got a couple transfers in that got a little bit of money, like not much, like 10 grand, which is great when you're in college. I mean, it helps out a lot. But this past year, I know we finally just put some money, like NIL money for the baseball team, and they just had like 20 transfers from Oregon State, Arizona, you name it. So hopefully they're going to do better this year, but I didn't experience it a whole lot, so I can't really attest to the NIL situation.
So Cole, I want to follow up though. You had an agent in high school and
Yeah.
you guys have no contract with that agent. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's just basically like if I'm a sophomore in high school and I can't sign my national letter of intent to go play baseball at wherever and do
Right.
the verbal commitment deal, it's the same thing with an agent. You can tell them you're done with them whenever you want, or you can keep them. It's just,
So you never really compensated that person for anything they did then?
No, the first person that I had that helped me guide me through the high school draft, which I ended up not signing. I had
Uh-huh.
two offers, didn't take them, went to college. Yeah, no compensation there.
Yeah, I was just curious, just because baseball is very different than NFL players, because I've done NFL players since like 1987, which is a
Mhm.
long time. And the way the NFL union does it is you get certified with the union and then you can get a player. Whereas baseball, you actually have to have a contract, like Tyler was saying, before somebody can even get certified with the union. So that's where it's so different for the agent side of it, which people in this room would be trying to do the agent side. So it's a real different process in your sport. It's different than NBA. It's different than NFL. It's different than hockey.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. We don't sign technically our agents or however that process is worded until we officially get drafted and sign a contract with a professional team.
Gotcha. So everything up to that is like no guarantees, even if the agent's working for you.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, you got to have open eyes. Okay.
So both of you kind of talked about the process of finding an agent. What are you looking for during these sit-down interviews? What makes an agent good? What makes you want to sign with them?
Yeah, I would say each person, has their own kind of wants and needs, but I would say for me personally, I grew up in a household where my dad had went through this whole baseball process. So he, had a bigger agent. Um, let's just say, I'll just kind of dumb it down for like make it easier for you guys to understand. Let's just say my my dad was with a bigger agent. We'll just compare the bigger agent to Scott Boras. So that was kind of the level of where, my dad kind of went. And, towards the end of my dad's career, he dealt with a lot of injuries and, he would call his agent and he would start to, get the second, third due in the office. He wouldn't get to talk to his agent anymore. So I think the biggest thing for me was to find kind of a middle of the road agency that also had some big clients. So then they had some, stake in the game a little bit, but they weren't too big where they weren't gonna, really value me. So I kind of went middle of the road agency, had some big name players that they had signed some big contracts, so they had experience. And just a guy that I really related to. Some of the agents can be a little douchey, a little standoffish. I just didn't really mesh well with them. So I think Garrett was actually my last meeting. And I was, lucky enough to, have that meeting. But yeah, if it wasn't kind of for that, I probably would have gone a different route. But Garrett came to my house and, really kind of hit home with me, kind of on a more off the field standpoint too, and on the field. So that's kind of my route.
Okay, so I got another question. Have any agents tried to steal you? Because I know, Tyler, you've had success. Now, Cole, you've had more success. Do you have any agents trying to steal you
Yeah,
from your current agent?
yeah. I mean, there's agents that reach out via social media. They have your phone number somehow. You get a text or a call.
Mhm.
I've had a couple agents approach me and during an away trip, like for example, I was in Detroit this year, walking out to the bus, and an agent came from the lobby somewhere and pulled me aside, and just wanted to make sure that I was happy with my representation.
Hmm.
So there's really, I mean, there's some shadiness to it, here and there. I
Oh,
mean,
I know.
it's
That's
it's
why I was
really a
bringing it
game
up.
at the end of the day. Those agents are trying to make the most money that they can. So it's pretty crazy sometimes, but yeah, I mean, they're all over trying to, recruit new players and bring people to their agency for sure.
Yeah. Cole, have you had that happen?
Yeah, no, I've had I mean a couple times throughout this season. I mean I had one in Somerset, New Jersey, where the Yankees double A is, just meet me outside our locker room after the game and basically the same thing Tyler said, just asked me if I'm happy with who's representing me. And I mean I am, and I was just like, yeah, I'm cool with where I'm at, man. I appreciate it. And that was it. I didn't feel any like it wasn't weird at all. I didn't think it was anything, bad or whatever. It's just, he's trying to do his job.
Yeah, it's just so rampant. It's rampant in football, and I figured it was rampant in
Yeah.
Major League Baseball too. So sorry. You guys have more questions?
I mean, this is kind of going backwards a little ways, but not personally understanding the process as well. What kind of indicates for you whether you should go to the draft or go and try to sign to a minor league team or something like that instead? Is it because that was one of the things that you were talking about the agent giving you advice on?
I guess I could say on that because I was somebody who could have went the pro route and went to college. I would say I feel like there's a certain level. I mean, this signing bonus is a pretty big deal, especially if you're going to go the pro route, because there's a lot of times where it just doesn't work out for the player and you're left, you signed for a couple $100,000 and it doesn't work out. And like, yeah, that's a good start, but now you have no college. You're not really knowing what you want to do. Tyler, and he could speak for this if he wants to, but like was in a little bit different spot where he got a little bit more money that is a little bit easier to kind of guide yourself. Let's say worst comes to worst, it didn't work out, but at the same time, they're also taking a chance on a high school kid in the first round where he's going to get every opportunity in the world year after year to figure it out. Whereas a guy who doesn't take as much money could be kicked to the curb in, his third or fourth year. So I went the college route. I thought it was better for me. I had a lot of growing up to do, and yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it comes down to, the player's, family situation plays a little bit of role to it too. If a player's grows up in a, not as fortunate situation, they're going to do what's best for them and their family. So there's definitely tons of factors that play into a high school guy signing out of high school. But yeah, I think it's just really personalized. You can't really go wrong. I mean, the game is getting younger and younger in professional baseball. Players are debuting at a really young age these days, way younger than they used to. So it's kind of the risk reward if you're willing to, maybe take a little bit less money. And, if you really want to play pro baseball, I mean, go take your chance. But I mean, there's definitely a little bit of risk involved. College is a great avenue for sure. You're going to go get an education and you're going to go, now you can make NIL as well. So I think the NIL has definitely changed the game a little bit, makes college a little more probably a little easier for some guys that are kind of middle of the road, not really sure what to do. They're probably going to go to college now because they're going to make some money via NIL.
So are you seeing in the baseball space the portal being as, people transferring the way they're doing this in football? Is baseball the same way, Cole?
Yeah, it's definitely turning that route. I have a buddy I grew up with playing travel baseball with. He was at Oregon State for 4 years, and then just transferred to San Diego State, and they're giving him like 20 grand, which is great for a college baseball player. And yeah, it's just like football now.
What's your portal window? What are the dates?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
Gotcha. So is your friend from Oregon State a pitcher?
No, he's not. He's a shortstop.
Shortstop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious because it's been really, really interesting. I wasn't sure how much it was trickling down into baseball. I do know there's more scholarships in baseball now, though.
Yeah, they just got 30 something, I believe. I'm not sure the exact number, but I think they have a lot more now.
They have a lot more, and I don't think how they might split them up before. That's not what they're doing anymore. So I think in that way, I think baseball is going to grow more, at least at the college level.
Yeah, for sure. Like Tyler said, I think the NIL is making it a lot easier for those fringe draft guys to just go to college and still make some money and figure out, their plan if they want to keep playing or not. And yeah.
Yeah. So Tyler, at 19 or 18, were you mentally ready for Major League Baseball?
I wouldn't say I probably was not mentally ready. Physically, I would say yes. I definitely had some maturing and stuff to do. Just I would say attitude wise, just on the field. I would say that's probably the biggest thing. Just kind of a little bit of growing up to do. I mean, you're playing the game with some grown adults that
Right.
are in their 30s. And I'm a 19-year-old kid. I'm obviously going to react a little different if I get out or do something, make a mistake. So I'd say that's the biggest part for me was kind of growing up mentally. But I'd say physically, I was definitely ready.
So did they maybe align you with another older player so that they could kind of help you through that mental process, or are you just thrown to the wolves?
I would say, I mean, pro baseball is definitely you're on your own. There's help if you need it, but it's your career really when it comes down to it. And it's really on you to, go out there and perform. I mean, you have everything at your disposal that you need to do that on a nightly basis, but it's really crafted to, the player. So I would say as a young player going into it, if I could give advice, I would definitely, explain to them that you're not going to have someone holding your hand, making a schedule for you, making a routine for you, which in college, I mean, you learn all of that. In pro baseball, you're not going to be taught a routine. You're not going to be taught, how to go about your business. I was thrown into the fire a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I would say pro baseball is definitely, crafted to your individual career.
Cole, what about your experience from college to what you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler kind of hit it on the head. We super strict schedule. I mean, pretty much every day, 7 a.m. weights, classes, and then 1 o'clock practices. Just super repetitive, strict schedule with our workouts, with practice, with running, being on time places, being disciplined if you're not on time places. And once you get to pro ball, I feel like it's a lot. It's nicer that it's up to you to do whatever you want, whenever you want to do it. Nobody's going to get it really on you unless you're really doing the wrong things. Nobody's really going to say anything. I think college helped in that way, so that I'm always kind of somebody who wants to get there early and do stuff and be on time and do what I need to do to prepare myself, because that's just what I learned. but yeah, no, it's not a super strict deal. Like if you're doing what you're supposed to do, not showing up late, nobody's really going to say anything to you. But if you ever want help or you ever need anything, it's all there for you. But at the end of the day, it's your career. You can do whatever you want with it.
Got it. You guys have any more questions? You good? Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to tell everybody? Should they become agents or should they not? That is the question.
Oh,
Well, if you find the right player, there's a lot of money to be made. So,
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of money in it. If you can,
Oh.
kind of build a career out of it and, hit on some 3 or 4 players that have great careers and sign big contracts, I think you do pretty good for yourself. So, good luck.
Did they offer you money to sign with them?
No.
Okay. Yeah. In football, that's what they do. But yeah, it's so different. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions, guys?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, Tate.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening to Born to be a Sports Agent, where we discuss relevant legal issues, contract issues, and discuss representation for everyone in sports. This is Jill McBride Baxter, and my core values are protection, advocacy, and trust. If you are looking for representation and you need someone to take you where you can't take yourself, please go to my website at jillmcbridebaxter.com or email me at jillbaxter@me.com and set up a meeting for a free consultation. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic week. And good luck in sports.